Chapter 9 The Flower Girl. Characters: Professor Higgins, a professor of phonetics. Colonel Pickering, a linguist of Indian dialects. Mrs. Pierce. Higgins, housekeeper. Lisa Doolittle, the flower girl.
Well, I think that's the whole show.
It's really amazing. I haven't taken half of it in, you know?
Would you like to go over any of it again?
No, thank you, not now. I'm quite done up for this morning.
Tired of listening to sounds?
Yes, it's a fearful strain. I rather fancied myself because I can pronounce 24 distinct vowel sounds. But your 130 beat me, and I can't differentiate.
Oh, that comes with practice. You hear no difference at first, but you keep on listening, and presently you find they are all as different as A from B.
Mrs. Pierce, Higgins' housekeeper, looks in.
What's the matter?
A young woman wants to see you, sir.
A young woman? What does she want?
Well, sir, she says you'll be glad to see her when you know what she's come about. She's quite a common girl, sir.
Oh, that's all right, Mrs. Pierce. Has she an interesting accent?
Oh, something dreadful, sir, really.
Let's have her up. Show her up, Mrs. Pierce.
He rushes across to his working table and picks out a cylinder to use on the phonograph.
Very well, sir. It's for you to say.
This is rather a bit of luck. I'll show you how I make records. We'll set her talking and I'll take it down first in Bell's visible speech, then in broad Romic, and then we'll get her on the phonograph so that you can turn her on as often as you like with the written transcript before you.
This is the young woman, sir.
The flower girl enters, wearing a hat with 3 ostrich feathers, a nearly clean apron, and a shoddy coat that has been tidied a little.
Why, this is the girl I jotted down last night. She's no use. I've got all the records I want of the Listen Grove language, and I'm not going to waste another cylinder on it.
To the girl.
Be off with you. I don't want you.
Don't you be so saucy. You ain't heard what I come for yet? Did you tell him I come in a taxi?
Nonsense, girl. What do you think a gentleman like Mr. Higgins cares what you came in?
Oh, we are proud. He ain't about giving lessons, not him. I heard him say so. Well, I ain't come here to ask for any compliment, and if my money is not good enough, I can go elsewhere.
Good enough for what?
Good enough for you. I'm come to have lessons. I am. And to pay for 'em too, make no mistake.
Well, what do you expect me to say to you?
Well, if you was a gentleman, you might ask me to sit down, I think.
Pickering, shall we ask this baggage to sit down, or shall we throw her out of the window?
Ow. I won't be called a baggage when I've offered to pay like any lady.
Motionless, the 2 men stare at her from the other side of the room, amazed.
What is it you want, my girl?
I want to be a lady in a flower shop instead of selling at the corner of Tottenham Court Road. But they won't take me unless I can talk more genteel. He said he could teach me. Well, here I'm ready to pay him, not asking any favor, and he treats me as if I was dirt.
How can you be such a foolish, ignorant girl as you think you could afford to pay Mr. Higgins?
Why shouldn't I? I know what lessons cost as well as you do, and I'm ready to pay.
How much?
Ow.
Won't you sit down?
Don't mind if I do.
What's your name?
Lisa Doolittle.
Eliza Elizabeth, Betsy and Bess. They went to the woods to get a bird's nest.
They found a nest with 4 eggs in it.
They took 1 apiece and left 3 in it.
Higgins and Pickering laugh at their own wit.
Oh, don't be silly.
Come back to business. How much do you propose to pay me for the lessons?
Oh, I know what's right. I won't give more than a shilling. Take it or leave it.
You know, Pickering, if you consider a shilling as a percentage of this girl's income, it works out equivalent to 60 or 70 pounds or 2/5 of a millionaire's income for a day. It's handsome. By George, it's enormous. It's the biggest offer I ever had.
60 pounds? Where would I get?
Hold your tongue.
But I ain't got 60 pounds. Oh.
Don't cry, you silly girl. Sit down. Nobody's going to touch your money.
Stop sniveling. Sit down.
Ow. One would think you was my father.
If I decide to teach you, I'll be worse than two fathers to you. Here.
Higgins, I'm interested. In the ambassador's garden, I'll say you are the greatest teacher alive if you make that good. And I'll pay for the lessons.
Oh, you are real good. Thank you, Captain.
It's almost irresistible. She's so deliciously low, so horribly dirty.
Oh, I ain't dirty. I washed my face and hands before I come. I did.
Never lose a chance. It doesn't come every day. I shall make a duchess of this draggle-tailed gutter snipe.
Oh.
Yes, in 6 months. In 3, if she has a good ear and a quick tongue. I'll take her anywhere and pass her off as anything. We'll start today. Now, this moment. Take her away and clean her, Mrs. Pierce. Monkey brand if it won't come off any other way. Is there a good fire in the kitchen?
Yes, but...
Bring her some new clothes, and she will stay here and learn the language.
But I've no place to put her.
All I propose is that we should be kind to this poor girl. We must help her to prepare and fit herself for her new station in life.
Lisa, reassured, sits back to her chair. From Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. Adapted. Phonetics, the study and classification of speech sounds. Phonograph, an early form of a gramophone using cylinders and able to record as well as produce sound. Tuning forks, two-pronged steel devices which vibrate when struck to give a note of specific pitch. Laryngoscope, an instrument for examining the larynx. Strain, a severe or excessive demand on the strength, ability or capacity of someone. Transcript, a written or printed version of material presented in speech or song. Shoddy, badly made. Brusquely, in an abrupt manner of speaking. Saucy, rude, showing no respect. Whimpering, making a series of low, feeble sounds of pain, fear, or unhappiness. Genteel, having the manners and refinement of a well-to-do person. Courteous, polite, respectful. Coyly, in a shy or modest manner that is fake. Declaiming, uttering words in a rhetorical or impassioned way as if to an audience. Shilling, a British coin, no longer in use, equal to 12 old pennies. 20 shillings was equal to £1. Snivelling, the action of crying and sniffing in a feeble way. Irresistible, too attractive and tempting. Draggle-tailed, having untidily trailing skirts. Gutter snipe, a scruffy and badly behaved child who spends most of its time on the street.